day on you. I'm sure you're safe and healthy. Today, inshallah, we'll continue on lesson number 5, radiation of multicellular key concept. Multicellular life evolved in distinct phase. So today we will discuss how multicellular organisms evolved in 3 main eras: the Paleozoic era, the Mesozoic era, and the Cenozoic era. So let us start with the first main idea. Life moved onto land during the Paleozoic era. So actually the trend toward multicellular organisms was one of the most important transitions in the history of life. One hypothesis suggests that it was an advantage for early one-celled organisms to increase in size by becoming multicellular. Here, cells that cooperated could compete more effectively for energy by processes such as cooperative feeding, and at some point increased dependence on neighboring cells would have led the cells to function as a colony. So guys, multicellular organisms first appeared during the Paleozoic era. The Paleozoic era began 542 million years ago. And here in this era, members of every major animal group evolved within only a few million years. So the Paleozoic era ended then 251 million years ago with a mass extinction. And can you imagine, guys, that more than 90% of marine animal species and 70% of land animal species of that time became extinct? So in between these remarkable events, guys, multicellular animals radiated, the first vertebrates evolved, and early plants moved onto land. Guys, the earliest part of Paleozoic era is often called the Cambrian explosion. During the Cambrian explosion, a huge diversity of animal species evolved, such as a kind of vertebrates like the jawless species. We have other types of marine vertebrates. We have also a group of a diverse group actually of arthropods, all evolved within this period. So guys, the middle of the Paleozoic era was a time of great diversity. As life moved onto land, the number and variety of plant groups greatly increased. For example, 4-legged vertebrates such as amphibians became common. So guys, the major events or the major animals or organisms actually that evolved during this era, during the Paleozoic era, are summarized in these 5 points. Number 1, multicellular animals radiated, first vertebrates evolved, early plants moved onto land, the number and variety of plant groups greatly increased, 4-legged vertebrates such as amphibians became common. Now let us move to the second main idea. Reptiles radiated during the Mesozoic era. So the Mesozoic era began 251 million years ago and ended 65 million years ago. And guys, the Mesozoic era called the age of reptiles. Why? Because the dinosaurs roamed Earth during this era. The Mesozoic era also featured birds and flowering plants. In addition to that, the oldest direct ancestor of mammals first appeared during this era. So guys, as we said, actually dinosaurs evolved maybe early in these during the early phases of the Mesozoic era, but by the end of this era, actually, most of these dinosaurs, and maybe you can say that all dinosaurs, became extinct. So guys, now let us start with the third main idea. Mammals radiated during the Cenozoic era. The Cenozoic era, guys, began 65 million years ago and continues today. This era, the Cenozoic era, is divided into two periods, Tertiary and the Quaternary. During the Tertiary period, guys, placental mammals and monotremes. And monotremes are a small group of mammals that lay eggs. These two, guys, kind of organisms evolved and diversified during the Cenozoic era. So guys, what else happened? During this era, the earliest ancestors of modern humans evolved near the end of the Tertiary period. However, anatomically modern humans didn't appear until very recently in Earth's history, nearly 200,000 years ago. Inshallah, later on we'll discuss about the evolution of ranks. So guys, that's all today. Thank you, and see you inshallah next time.